This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the fourth time we've seen a Galaxy S Samsung phone in the US, and this one is the Samsung Fascinate on Verizon. While the Captivate on AT&T and the Vibrant on T-Mobile shared a slate design, we know the Samsung Epic that we reviewed recently on Sprint was the only one with a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. This guy looks the most like the original Galaxy S overseas model and like the T-Mobile Vibrant. So you can see here in the back view they're very similar. They both have shiny plastic backs with a subtle pattern, and yeah, they do love fingerprints. I'm sure that this is going to look pretty nasty by the time I'm done with this video review, in fact. You can see this one has an LED flash on the back. Awesome. The Vibrant does not, nor does the Captivate. Otherwise they're fairly similar, except for the Galaxy S has a little hump, or a curve, on T-Mobile, whereas it doesn't have that on the Verizon version. Taking a look around, this is the screen lock, unlock, and power button. Up top, just like the other Galaxy phones we've seen, you have your headphone jack and the USB charge and sync port. Kind of annoying location for the charger. If you want to use the phone while you're charging it, the charger is going to be coming out the top end of the phone. So you want to use a wired headset or a Bluetooth headset. No wired headset is included with this, though. Here you've got your volume rockers. And nothing but the microphone down here, and this is how you peel off the back. We'll show you what's inside. It's just a pull-off back. And here you've got the micro SD card slot. There's a 16 gig card included right here. Here's your 1500 milliamp battery. And obviously the camera, 5 megapixel camera lens, and the LED flash. Now you've got the Samsung on the right here and the Motorola Droid 2 next to it. So you can see the Droid 2 has a smaller footprint, but it's obviously going to be thicker because it has the slide-out keyboard. Screen, this has a Super AMOLED display. It's way more vibrant than the Motorola. This is just a beautiful looking display, and we don't even have a super saturated desktop picture on here right now. Signal reception is about the same. Usually the Droids and Motorola phones in general are very strong, but though the Droid will show more bars, when we look at the actual signal strength in dB under settings, they get a very similar signal. So you can go with either one of these guys if you have concerns over signal strength. They'll both do equally as well for you. Now next to the iPhone 4. So the iPhone 4 looks a teeny bit thicker. This is the thinnest Galaxy yet by a small margin. Before the Vibrant was the thinnest. And we've already seen this compared with the Vibrant, so we're good there. So this has the same 1 gigahertz Samsung Hummingbird CPU. That's an ARM Cortex A8 CPU. That's as good as you can get these days, and it's comparable to what's in the iPhone 4. This is really the fastest of the Android superphones, I have to say. It's a great CPU, and it has 3D and 2D acceleration as well. And we're going to test out Need for Speed Shift that's bundled so you can see that in action. It has 2 gigs of internal storage, and then the 16 gig card is included as well. And of course it has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a GPS that seems to be free of the Galaxy S quirks that we've seen on the other variants available in the US. Works with VZ Navigator, and it works with Google Maps. And Wi-Fi is BGN, by the way, which is pretty nice. So you're not going to slow down your router if you have an 802.11n router with a slow G device. This guy can handle N. So we'll take a look around here. This is the same Samsung TouchWiz 3 desktop that we've seen on the other Galaxy phones, which is a nice light version of TouchWiz. And I like this new widget here that they've got. They're trying to outdo HTC with the clock thing. So you've got the analog clock here, and the weather is embedded in the clock face. So you can see right now we're having cloudy with showers, and that's what's showing up. And you can tap here and access full weather forecast and weather for other cities. Here you've got your visual tap dialing interface. And if you're subscribing to Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace updates, these are going to show up over here. Again, that's the Samsung widget. Clear desktop, you've got 7 screens, and it indicates up top, it tells you where you are among all the many screens. Of course, by default, surprise, it's Bing search, not Google search. Bummer. And then you have the Samsung Daily Briefing. Again, we've seen this on other Galaxy phones, and I believe on the Galaxy Tab as well, that we just videoed a couple of days ago in Berlin. So this gives you your weather, AccuWeather, Yahoo Stocks, and AP Mobile News, and you can set the refresh rate for each of those for updating. And we're good here. Of course, you can add any of the standard Google widgets or third-party widgets that you want. Obviously, you've got shortcuts down here, permanent ones for phone contacts, messaging, and applications. We'll take a look, and this is again the Samsung TouchWiz style icons where you get a little colored background for each of the icons, and instead of an infinite scroll you go side to side in alphabetical order. So we've got the 3G Mobile Hotspot feature here if you want to pay for that feature. It's a monthly add-on fee, and then you can use this as a mobile hotspot for your notebook computer or even your desktop computer, really. We have Dlna Allshare here, which is media sharing over Wi-Fi. Microsoft's Bing services. Blockbuster Video, the usual fine WebKit web browser that's standard for Google. City ID, which Verizon's been putting on their phones lately. Got both car cradle and desk cradle modes. We'll show you desk cradle mode real quick. So you've got that, and you can put this in night view too, so it's not as bright. So you've got a big digital clock, access to gallery, voice search, alarms, the news, and your music player. And car cradle is for when you're using this in the car. So you have quick access to navigation, voice search, Google Maps, and your contacts. Of course, this has Gmail and has access to POP and Exchange and IMAP email too. This is running Android OS 2.1. At some point we should see Froyo available, but it is shipping with 2.1 right now. Other preloaded apps are the Kindle ebook reader app, pretty cool. Need for Speed Shift again. Think Free Office, which is what Samsung's been putting on their Galaxy phones for viewing Office documents. Verizon's VCast Music is here, and Tones. And we've also got Right to Go, which is a cool little Samsung app. It's kind of like a little note-taking app right here. You can enter text in portrait or landscape mode, whichever you like. The keyboard on this is quite usable. This is a 4-inch display, which means you've got a roomy keyboard. And of course, Samsung Swipe is on board, so if you want to, you can drag from letter to letter instead of pecking at the letters. And a lot of people absolutely love Swipe. And you can use it in either direction, and it offers features like predictive text, too. And here's your voice input. Phone is very good at multimedia. We're going to take a look at the built-in Samsung video player right now. We've got a video loaded. It automatically plays in full screen. Let's see how loud we can get this. It's near maximum volume right now. That's an MPEG-4 video. It's about almost 950k bps. In terms of resolution and bitrate, it's a good match for the screen size. So you can actually go quite a bit higher though with this if you want. You can really do 720p video. It also can record 720p video, as a matter of fact. So that's the Samsung video player. Next, we'll take a look at their music player, which is custom too, because goodness knows Android needs some help. Their basic music player is pretty boring. So here's the default view looking at all. I have not loaded any album art, so it's just putting its own in there. You can create playlists, access by album, by artist, and that's what it looks like in landscape mode. There's virtual 5.1 channel audio. Next we'll take a look at VCast videos. We'll just pick something being featured right now. Pretty good speaker. It is at max volume now.
What the hell's wrong now?
So that was VCast video. Now see, we'll take a look at YouTube for our multimedia. And we will try to find something that's not too terribly tasteless here. Good luck. We are going to watch this in high quality mode for a much better experience. And we're doing this over Verizon's 3G network. Alright, we're going to take a look at Need for Speed Shift, which is included with the phone. Actually, there's a pointer to a download. Doesn't cost you anything to download it. It's a 3D racing game, obviously. We'll see how it does. It's not the first time that we've seen this included on a Samsung Galaxy product. In fact, we even saw it on the Samsung Galaxy Tab, Android tablet. We're going to turn the volume down a bit. It's a loud game. And obviously this is a demo version of the game. You get to race for a while, but if you want to go through the full game, then you have to pay for it. Do a quick race with a nice BMW M3. And this game uses the accelerometer and tilt for acceleration and steering. So we may pick up some glare as I drive through this. Nice colors though on this screen, huh? Ooh, got some windshield cracks on that turn. So that's the Samsung Fascinate. It's Verizon's latest Android superphone running Android OS 2.1 with TouchWiz 3.0, 1 GHz CPU, 2 gigs of internal storage, plus a 16 gig micro SD card, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, 5 megapixel camera with an LD flash that takes very nice pictures actually. The full Google experience with the web browser, Market, Google Maps with turn-by-turn directions. Plus we have VZ Navigator on board as well, and visual voicemail, Nuance voice command, and all of Google's voice command suites. The hard thing for Verizon customers is going to be choosing which of these superphones they want, because Verizon has so many awesome phones right now. I mean, we just took a look at the Droid 2, for example. If you want a keyboard, obviously the Droid 2 has a big advantage there if you're a hardware keyboard person. But then you've also got the HTC Incredible for a slate design phone, and the Motorola Droid X, which has been very popular. Motorola Droid X being an even larger phone with a slightly larger display. I would say this guy has the most beautiful looking display. They all have pretty much the same resolution, around 800 by 480, give or take a few pixels, but the Super AMOLED display on this is so vibrant and so beautiful, so that's the selling point for this phone. It's also the fastest performer in terms of benchmarks and actual use. It's a very zippy phone. So those are some things that you might want to consider if you're thinking about this versus the other phones. I would say that the Droid X has a nice metal back and a little bit more of a quality feel. This is that reflective I love fingerprints plastic back. It's nice looking. It's a little bit slippery maybe to hold on to, but it doesn't look like a real expensive phone, for example. And then there's the Incredible by HTC, for those of you who love HTC Sense experience. That has only a 3.7-inch screen, which is suddenly seeming quite small. Back in the days of the Nexus 1, that was pretty impressive, but this guy has a 4-inch, and then you're looking at some other phones with 4.3-inch displays. And the Incredible isn't that much smaller or pocketable, but still, it has a solid HTC experience and nice build quality too. So that's the Samsung Fascinate, a Galaxy S phone on Verizon. It's available right now for $199 after rebates with a mail-in contract. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and visit our website to read the full review.